everyone. My name's Mark.
My name is Fadi.
Okay. Um, this is the beginning of our new podcast.
Pretty much, yeah. We're
We
just
don't-
kind of seeing how things go right now.
We don't have a name yet, so
We'll figure that out later.
we'll ride this wave and see how it goes.
Exactly. You know how it is.
Let's start with introductions.
All right, you go first.
You go first.
All right, I'll go first. My name is Fadi. Born in Iraq, raised in Canada.
Can you go into this detail?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe they want to know.
Okay.
And then, I'm a university student. I just finished my bachelor's, so there's that. So this kind of acts like a post-university project for the summer. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, my name is Mark. I was also born in Iraq. Immigrated very early, and I'm also almost finished my degree. I have to take another exam, but after that, I'll be set.
Yeah, that is. Okay.
Yeah, we should probably mention we're shooting outside.
Yeah, this is the park. I don't know where it is.
Trinity Bellwoods Park.
Trinity Bellwoods. Sounds very fancy.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sick.
Yeah. So, we're still trying to work out the whole equipment and everything, but we hope you enjoy. The point is the content, not the quality.
Not the quality.
We're not about quality over here.
I mean, we spent 15 minutes trying to do it, but
hey, this is gonna be the most ghetto but the best pedal podcast
ever. Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Okay.
So I guess we'll start.
So yeah, I guess we can talk about why we wanted to start a podcast. Me and Fadi have had some very interesting conversations throughout the years. And I don't know about him, but I've always wondered would I agree with myself 2 years after we're talking about something. And also I think it's a good archive of all the dumb stuff I've said, and I'm sure all the dumb stuff Fadi has said too. So I think it's cool to start a podcast just to record history in a way.
Yeah, it's definitely worth having. We're gonna look back at it, as Mark said, and
Our
we're gonna
shoes
see.
are so muddy now.
So are mine. Yeah, like all these past 4 years, we've had all the conversations and everything. So we thought we'd bring some people along too. It is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, we can start with our first topic.
All right. What's our first topic? Honestly, we're gonna treat this project as we treat school projects. We'll leave it to the last minute.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
We're gonna wing it.
Exactly. That's what it's about here.
Okay. So how do you feel about finishing school?
Honestly, I'm probably not done, but for now, at least finishing one step, I'm pretty happy with it. It went by very quickly.
Yeah.
4 years, but it went by faster than high school.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I think it's because, in high school you go day in and day out, and then in university maybe sometimes you go to classes 5 days a week. But it also feels like there's technically less school, so it feels like there's less involvement and stuff, or less direct in class doing stuff, so it might feel shorter.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that it's so you're kind of doing everything on your own, right? There's nobody kind of guiding you, picking your classes and everything like that. Beyond first year, you need to figure out what you're doing, why you're doing it, and everything. So it's a huge shift in dynamic, but can't complain. It's nice to have it over, at least one step, but
Yeah.
see what happens.
Well, I mean, I'm not technically over, but
Yeah, you have an exam, but
yeah, I have an
it's
exam
light,
on the 15th. That's why we're gonna have this podcast episode.
Maybe
from
we'll
our,
have one more.
from our pilot, take a 2-week hiatus, and then go back and
Exactly.
start it up again. This is supposed to kind of be like a project. We'll see how it goes with the first one.
Yeah.
We'll see ways to improve and things to talk about. Yeah.
If we start making some bank, we're gonna keep it going.
If we make some bank, please sponsor us.
You know,
Whoever the three people that are gonna end up watching this, please sponsor us.
yeah, we're looking at you, coffee shop.
Exactly.
It's a coffee shop, named coffee shop across the street.
It's very convenient. There's a place called Delivery, Grab and Go, and Catering. So exactly.
That's pretty
This
good.
is a very literal neighborhood that we're in.
Yeah, it's straight to the point.
Look, it's called. Is this Parkview? Because if this is Parkview, we're in a park,
And we have a nice
and
view.
this is a view.
Exactly. I like this location. Just straight to the
I
point.
hope it doesn't get it too cold though.
Yeah, this is not the best weather to be doing this outside, but
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to do it outside because it's like, I don't know. I like doing stuff outside. Like, it's better than if like we're in like some like dingy room or something.
yeah, you don't want us to just sit. You don't want to sit there watching us in like a basement.
I mean, that's
all
what
gloomy.
That's
stuff.
for sure what's gonna happen.
I mean, you probably won't see us
with our
anymore.
next episodes, but
yeah.
I mean, it's not really worth traveling an hour and a half just to have an hour conversation.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing too is the computer battery. We're gonna be like mid podcast, it just dies.
Yeah, that's a sign. That's
Then
a sign that we can't go back.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to post whatever it saves, and that's it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
How about you? What'd you eat this week?
What did I eat this week? This week was the end of Soma, which for our Western audience is the end of Lent.
Exactly.
So it's when Soma ends. When Lent ends, you get to go back to your no more diet, which for me means finally being able to eat meat and dairy and all that stuff again.
Yeah.
So the first couple of days, I mean, we went out for burgers on Monday.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then it was like when you first open like a bottle cap, you know what I mean, for the first time. Feels like you're opening up, Never mind. Let's take this part out.
What kind of analogy is that?
What I mean, it's like
you open the bottle cap, the thing explodes.
No. How can I explain this? It's like opening a door. It's like having a door that was closed on you for 50 days, and then opening it back up and being like, wow, I can finally enter this room again. I can finally enter the room that is, meat and dairy again.
Yeah. Enjoy the fire truck.
That's a fire truck coming.
Look at that. You get all the background.
So for all who say this is fake, and we're actually putting in the effort of doing this outside, and this is some green screen, watch this. How can we fake a fire truck?
Yeah, exactly. We're actually out here.
We're out here.
We are out here.
How about you? How was your diet this week?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. We had pacho. For those of you who don't know, it's lamb stomach with rice and meat inside.
It's very hard to describe what it is to white.
Because
what is it? It's rice and meat.
Yeah.
Stuffed into a lamb skin.
Yeah.
But then the lamb skin is like, what do you call it? Knitted.
Yeah. There's like sewing involved.
Yeah. So you sew the lamb skin together, so when it cooks, it cooks better or something.
You get some taste in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you eat the meat, like the skin of the lamb?
No, I don't eat the skin.
You don't eat it?
No.
I eat it. I eat it like if like it's not too big of a piece, and I put like lemon and smoke on it. Smoke is sumac, I think, in English.
I don't know. It's like a really sour thing. That's pretty good.
Oh, I like Miura better though.
Yeah.
So that's like technically pacha. That's OG pacha, and then there's Miura, which is like
intestine stuffed with rice and meat.
Yeah, exactly.
But lamb intestines.
Is it lamb?
Pretty sure it's lamb.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
And I like because they usually have some type of like shorba, like some type of like soup.
Yeah, with chickpeas and stuff.
Yeah, I like the tongue. We had the tongue before.
I haven't had the tongue.
Bro, the tongue is like the best part of the meat. Like it might sound hard to believe, but it's like the tastiest like morsel you can get from like the whole lamb actually it's not even a lamb tongue, it's a cow tongue. Yeah. But it's like the best like type of meat, I think.
It's like the most tastiest.
It's like the most tender. Buds, It's like, especially when you put like lemon and smoke on it. Like it just, I don't know, it just hits the spot. Yeah.
Yo, we're out here talking about lamb stomach and cow tongue and stuff.
Yeah.
These mans are gonna get like, they're gonna be, what's going on?
They're gonna be so confused.
It's all good. For those who know, That's all that matters.
Yeah. How about what else besides pacha?
At kubo, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like grinded rice, and then it's like wrapped around some meat. It's kind of like a rice ball, but different than a rice ball.
It's so hard to explain Iraqi food.
This food is like, I like just eating it, not really understanding
Yeah.
what it is. You know,
I mean,
it's pretty good.
I like understanding. Like, I want to like,
To a degree. To a degree.
like if you think about it, like we need to know how to make it. You know what I mean?
Not really. Well, yeah, okay.
I mean, we
know how
don't
to
need
make-
to, but like I think it's like we should learn how to do it.
That's true.
Plus,
That's
I kind of like cooking. Like I've baked like cookies in the past, and like
Yeah.
I've tried to make other dishes, but
Cooking can be interesting. I'm trying to make a steak actually.
yeah.
Like I've been telling my mom for the past like while, I'm gonna buy like a nice piece of steak, grill it. I want
Yeah.
it to be like medium rare, really good.
Yeah, I wonder how. What do you do on a barbecue, like, or in a pan in the kitchen?
So I'm probably gonna do it on the pan just because it's more like it's easier for me.
Mm.
Last time I did it on like one of those grills you open up, like it's like a panini press sort of
Yeah.
thing. Didn't
Does that
come out
work?
that great. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think ours is just really messed up, so
Uh-huh.
it just took forever, and then it just didn't come out great.
Yeah.
So
What do you like? Medium rare?
medium rare?
Yeah.
Medium rare to like well rare. What's it called? Medium
Well done.
medium
Medium
well.
rare. I don't
Medium
know.
well. It's kind of like between well done and medium rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a funny story though. I remember there was a time, like with older Iraqi people, where
All this stuff just open.
yo, I just realized the soundboard has a trial. Oh boy. All right, one more time. You know, I have a story to tell. Flashback. Go for it.
It's not even that loud.
Oh wait. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. What's that noise now? Oh boy.
That's like the mic, no?
Is it? Oh boy.
3 hours later.
All right, and we're back. You know, we had some technical difficulties.
Our first ones, guys.
Yeah,
Our first techno. It's
exactly.
it's like when you open up a bottle and
You know,
the cap falls off.
You gotta bear with us. You know, we can't just start off as Joe Rogan.
Exactly,
You know?
bro.
This isn't like just straight to Joe
You know?
Budden podcast.
You know, we're working on a budget too, so
Exactly.
you know what I mean.
What are you gonna do?
Exactly. So I think Fadi had a story to tell.
Yeah, I had a story to tell. You know.
Finally,
It worked. Yeah, so it's just like with steaks and like a lot of older Iraqi people, they don't understand the idea of medium rare and like rare, and
Yeah.
they see the blood and it's like it's not cooked. You know, that's it. You know, get this back on the grill. So I just heard the story of like these people going to like a party and then nobody eating the steak because they just thought it wasn't cooked, when in reality it was medium rare, and these were like some expensive steaks, so they kind of just all went away. You know,
Yeah.
straight to the trash.
Iraqis are very weird about the things they'll eat. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's weird. I think it's very like well grounded.
Yeah, they're just used to something, and then
Yeah. Like they're. I don't know about your parents, but my parents like hate seafood unless it's like regular fish. They just think it's like nasty and it's like it comes from like the ocean and like whatever else.
yeah, no, my parents don't mind seafood, but like my whole house, like including me, we just don't really like fish if there's bones in it, just because like it adds a lot of work to
Yeah,
the
that's,
process.
that's pretty annoying.
You know, it's just like I want to just get straight to the meal. I don't want to sit there picking out my bone, like
Yeah.
deconstructing my food. You know. Plus, I don't want to be chewing and like
Yeah.
be worried about like choking.
Oh,
It's like sitting and eating a meal
But
with
it's-
like somebody with a gun to your head.
But it's but it's not even just choking. It's just like it like I don't know how to describe this, but like it just like turns you off from eating when like do you ever eat like a salad or something and then you bite a lemon seed?
Oh, man.
That's like the worst thing ever. Like it just turns you. You just want to throw it like whatever you're eating.
It ruins the whole taste of your mouth, and it's like you're back to square one. That's not fun.
Yeah. It's marida. It's bitter.
Yeah. Food is nice though. Food is.
Yeah.
This podcast isn't just about food.
We were thinking we'd name each podcast title after a specific restaurant.
Yeah. That
Like today would be like Wendy's. The next one would be like McDonald's, and just keep going and going.
yeah. Then
probably
we just
not-
get more and more elaborate. You know?
Probably not good PR though,
That's true.
in
That's
terms
true.
of
I
like
don't
who would really want to
just
listen.
It's
Listen to us
like
talk about
an hour podcast about Wendy's, and then it turns out it's not. But you know, like once we start making bank and like we get like a ton of sponsorships, our name,
Bro.
the episodes are progressively gonna get more and more
Wendy's,
expensive restaurants.
sponsor us.
Yeah, you know, Wendy's is pretty good.
We'll eat like Wendy's food on camera. I'll have a Wendy's T-shirt.
Yeah.
You can have a Wendy's T-shirt.
Exactly. You know.
We could do it like I'll have a Wendy's T-shirt. You'll have a Tim Hortons T-shirt. Like those those restaurant combos.
We'll come back here and just have a ton of like wrappers and stuff everywhere, like food wrappers
Exactly.
of all of our sponsors.
We won't do it outside because we don't want to litter.
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
It's a big part of this podcast. We're very eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly.
I mean, we're eco-friendly too because we're outside, so it's probably an echo.
Do you know who needs to sponsor us?
Who?
Yo, Spring Sushi.
Yeah. No. Spring Sushi. We've been
there a ton of times.
We've been in university for 4 years.
Yeah.
At least 3 times a year, I would say.
Yeah.
At least 3 times a year. Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Sponsor us. Whoever owns that place, I bet you, sir, I put your daughter through college by now.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
We put in so much money. That's what it
So
is.
sponsor us. It's the same thing. We'll have the T-shirts. It's also a buffet place.
Yeah.
So it's how would they bring the food to us?
I don't know. We'll actually do a podcast there if they sponsor us.
In
we'll set up
in-store podcast.
We have all the food coming in. You watch us eat and speak.
Yeah. It's probably not the best thing to watch.
Yeah, especially at a buffet. But it is what it is. But yeah.
Let's get on to our next topic of the day.
Nice.
So that's gonna be the transition we use, okay?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't speak that language, but I'm sure it's saying something very interesting. So yeah.
Exactly.
So what should our next topic be?
What have you been watching?
Watching TV.
TV.
Okay. So I've been keeping up with Game of Thrones. I know you don't watch it, so it's not worth going over. There's a lot of theories, Honestly, the best thing is just going on online and finding the different theories and be like, oh, never thought about that. Maybe that makes sense.
That's
I've
true.
been watching that. I've been watching this show called, I think it's called Girls. It's an Italian show on Netflix. That's a good show.
Okay.
That's a trippy. The music is amazing in it. It's a sick show.
I've never heard of it.
You should watch it.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, and I watched Us yesterday.
Ooh, I still need to watch that.
Yeah.
I still need to watch.
It's honestly, I would say it's better than Get Out, cause it's more it's not so obvious what the point of the movie is, and then at the end there's this sick, very interesting twist right at the end. I'm talking a minute before the credits roll, which is very cool. And then I like movies like that where you watch it and at the end you're you have to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it stays in your mind. It's
Exactly,
not like you watch a movie and then you just leave and it's you never think about it.
Yeah,
And
I like those
pretty cool.
movies that impact you.
Yeah. Have you actually seen the alternate scene to Get Out?
No,
Like
I
they-
haven't.
They ended up posting on YouTube. It's so weird, but how they chose to end it is way better. So it's pretty good that they didn't go for that other scene,
Yeah.
the other idea. But it
What
was
was the
still
other
pretty
idea?
funny. It was so the main character, he ends up like actual cops show up.
Mm.
So it wasn't like the cops show up at the end. I think I'm just ruining it for everyone. So there's spoilers, but not really. I'm spoiling the alternate ending.
Yeah.
Anyways, so cops show up and then he's kind of all bloody and stuff. And then they actually take him to jail. So it kind of ends up with him going to jail, and then
Oh.
them just thinking he's
It's
some
real-
crazy killer.
It's a real cultural
Yeah, exactly.
topic. Very interesting.
It is. What's cool too is a lot of people would post their theories, and there's a video of Jordan Peele. He was kind
Yeah.
of going through these theories, and he's
Mhm.
some of these I have never even thought about, but these are so cool that fans are thinking them and stuff.
I feel directors or even when Childish Gambino came out with that "This Is America" song, and it's if you watch this music video, this guy pops up right at this scene. This represents. I think that's all made up. I think it's the director or whoever else does it, and they might have a specific idea in mind, and they might have little Easter eggs in it and whatever. But I think they just let it go to the public, and then the public who wants to see meaning and everything goes and it's oh, this means this and this means
Yeah.
that, and the director's yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, if it ends up sounding better than what you kind of had in mind, if it takes to another level, then I would take credit for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. That's why directors and artists make so much money,
Exactly.
because they can appeal to anyone.
That's true. especially now with like social media and stuff, everybody can kind of like throw in their opinion. I mean, like when like the Mona Lisa was painted, nobody can just kind of like see it and be like, oh, I think it looks like this or this
Plus,
interpretation.
I think like social media makes everyone like on the same level. Like I'm pretty sure like when the Mona Lisa was painted, like no one cared about like I don't know like the baker's opinion.
That's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
or like the homeless's opinion on like whatever art was.
Yeah, but then there's moments where like some people give their opinion, and nobody should care about their opinion because they aren't really
Yeah.
that great people. But everyone does because like their platform.
I kind of the
Yeah.
homeless don't have Twitter yet, so
Maybe
you know.
some too.
Bakers have Twitter though. So.
Baker, yeah. But this, yeah, I would care about my baker's opinion
On art?
on anything. You know, like have you ever seen how bread is made? Well, that's an art.
No, yeah. I've seen it.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
very
if this
interesting.
man is making bread
Mm.
and like weaving it like a million times with his hands, I respect him.
You know what they say? You can tell a lot by a man by the way he bakes his bread.
Ooh, I've never heard that.
That's gonna be the title of this episode. You can tell a lot by a man by the way he bakes his bread.
That's a long title,
Exactly.
you know.
It's okay. We'll put an acronym.
All
What's
right.
the acronym of that?
Y,
Y.
C,
C.
T,
Yakta.
A.
Yakta.
Bro, it's gonna end up sounding like Pusha T's ad lib. Ad lib.
Uh,
But yeah, Game of Thrones. I've been meaning to start that for like the past 3 years.
dude, it's so good.
Just never got into it. Like I haven't even started trying to get into it. You know?
I remember like in grade might have been 12. One of my friends told me, "Oh, you have to watch it," and I watched the first episode,
Yeah.
and it was so like whatever. For me, at least, I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna watch it. But then like maybe it might have been last summer.
Yeah.
I was like thinking like, oh, now I have like it's exactly like the time right now. It's like you have like more time to do stuff. So you're like, oh, what like show can I watch? So I started watching it because I already watched the first episode. So I started from the second episode, and it was like you watch like 3 episodes and like you get hooked. And
Yeah.
especially because like the just like the fan community is so big. Like they're almost like because so many people watch it, it just makes you want to watch it even more.
That
Which
makes
like for a lot of times like it might make something like overrated, but like for Game of Thrones, like as much as like it's like hyped, I wouldn't even say it's overrated. I think it's like rated at like a pretty good level.
It's pretty
Like
good.
if you watch the show, like I'm a political science major, right? And like don't get me wrong, it has nothing to do with political science in like the terms of like theories or whatever, but like they're very like Machiavellian in the way they do stuff. Like the leaders only care about like ways to get power, and then like I mean it's called Game of Thrones, so like it makes sense. But I don't know, it's like very like I know people are interested in like the sci-fi part of it, like with the dragons and whatever. But for me, I like it because it's like I like shows where they talk about like power and like like Suits for example. Like it's all
Yeah.
about like who's in power at this time and who gets this whatever this privilege at this time or that time. Game of Thrones is exactly like that. It's like about who has that upper hand at this time. So like you watch Suits, right?
Yeah.
So like in Suits, I don't know how to explain it, but like for example, Harvey had like something he had specifically. He had like a secret weapon like at like the last episode of the seasons, and like he'd always use it to like flip on whoever he was like in a feud with at that point.
Yeah.
So like he'd like show his hand right at the end of the season and be like, oh, now I have the leverage, I have the power. Game of Thrones is the exact same thing. I think shows that are good are shows that like show like the fluctuations in power and like how someone who's like in a very either like poor or like middle situation finds their way to the top. Like movies like Wolf of Wall Street, or like have you seen? There's this one Nicolas Cage movie called Lord of War, where it's like about him becoming like an arms dealer, and like goes from him being like working in a immigrant restaurant to like him like being like the number one arms dealer besides the United States. So it's like like that rags to riches story. I think those stories are like the best because they're like yeah, they're like they pick you up and they're kind of like motivational, but it's like there's like a lot of like interesting themes and like motifs and like learning about how someone gets power. I think it's interesting. So that's why Game of Thrones is like a good show in my opinion. I'm sure other people will say because of the dragons and the princesses and whatever else. The nudity, which is one thing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it looks interesting. It's just I just haven't kind of pushed into it. But I mean, I can relate to the whole thing where it's like you watch an episode of a show, you're not feeling it, but then like you come back to it and you just kind of end up watching the whole series. I've done that like a bunch of times. Even with something like Friends. Like I used to watch Friends when I was younger, like on TV. But then when like all these people are talking about it on Netflix, I watched like the first episode, couldn't even get through it, and then like a couple months later, I was just like randomly in the mood, and then I ended up watching the whole series.
Yeah,
Very
I've
good
watched
series.
Friends like maybe 3 times.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can't do. I can't rewatch shows, especially like a whole series. I'll rewatch an episode, but if I'm watching the whole thing, I can't go through it again.
I don't really call it rewatching it, but it's like, when you sit down to eat and you have to have something like playing, you have to watch something while you're eating, like if you're alone.
Yeah.
Friends was like my go-to thing to watch because it's like sitcoms for some reason they go together with like snacking.
That's true. Yeah, I see that. I have a funny story though. We're gonna take it back to I think it was like grade 7. No. It was like grade 10 or 11 actually. So at that point, like I found out like the library had some movies and stuff. So I would like take out some like TV series from the library, like in CDs, and I would just watch them at home. I didn't swear. That was like the buzz, Yeah, no, I would take them at home and stuff, and I would watch them. So there's a point where I started getting to Sons of Anarchy, right? So like I heard it was a good show, so I'm like, let me take this out. Took out the whole full first season, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch this. And like, it was so weird to me because like I threw in the CD, I pressed play, I'm sitting down watching the episode, and like the first episode, like the whole time I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Why is this guy in jail? Why is this guy why is this happening? Why did this person, why is all this happening? Who is this person? Like, I thought it was some like elaborate show where they just kind of like throw in a bunch of characters, not introduce them, and kind of like let you figure it out. Because I didn't know the name of a single person, and like, dude, people were getting like beat up, and I didn't know why. It was just like I had no idea what was happening. And then like I go online and I'm like trying to find an explanation for this. I'm like, why is this such an elaborate show? And then like I read like the IMDb description, and I'm like, what kind of this is not the first episode. I just watched the first episode. The description is like way off of what's happening. I open up the box set again, and I'm just like, let me see something. I open it up, and then I realize I just watched the season finale. I put in the wrong disc, and I ended up watching the season finale as the first episode, and I'm just like tripping out. I'm like, what just happened? And then I ended up rewatching the first episode.
How old? Which grade was this?
Grade 10 or 11.
Oh, that's just like grade 7.
No, it wasn't grade 7. But yeah, like I ended up watching the season actually. It turned out to be like a really good show. I finished it. But that was like an interesting thing because like as I started to rewatch as I watched the first season, the first couple episodes, I started connecting things. I'm like, oh, that person, that happened.
Yeah. I kind of do. For Game of Thrones, I had throughout watching it, I had these like characters that I hated, and I always wanted to know when they would die, but not how they would die, because that's like too much information.
Yeah.
So I'd go on. This is a tip actually. You go on Wikipedia.
Wait.
I look at like the actor's summary. It's live. We're telling you, it's live.
It's a lot of crime in Toronto.
So I go to the actors like on like the Wikipedia page. I go to the page and look where the actors were, and it shows like which seasons they were in. So I'd find out who was a character I hated and who played them, and then see which season they'd stop being a part of. I'd be like, okay, that's when they die, and that just hyped me up to just see them die.
That makes sense, I guess. I've had plenty of people like ruin it, like somebody dies, right? But it's kind of like what you said. I didn't really mind because I didn't know how they died, so like it still kind of came off as a surprise when I actually watched it and stuff.
Yeah. I think I'm just like impatient. Like whenever like I read a story, like I want to read it like really really quickly just so I know what ends up happening at the end.
Yeah.
I don't like dwelling on it and like like picking it up and putting it back down and thinking about it too much. I just want to know, okay, this is what happens, that's what happens, that's how this person dies, and this is why that guy wins and whatever else.
Yeah. I think with me it's like kind of related to that. It's like my attention span. I feel like it's been getting shorter because like I'm at the point now where I watch like YouTube videos at 2 times speed, the whole time, every time, and like as like when I drop it back to normal, I think that they're like speaking extra slow. Like I have to watch it at 2 times speed now, and it's just how it is.
Oh my god.
Not again. Why? He's telling me the trial is done.
I say just turn that part off.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop it for a second just so I can turn that thing off, and then we'll be back in a second. You know, if we had a sponsor right now, this would be our commercial break.
Sponsor us.
Hit Pizza Hut for a supreme pizza loaded with 6 delicious toppings like mouth-watering pepperoni, mushrooms, and green peppers. Right now, get a medium supreme for $7.99 and any other medium for just $4 more.
Get Pizza Hut tonight.
Okay, now we're back.
That was her like post-commercial break theme.
I forgot what we were talking about. Movies,
TV shows. I
TV
think.
shows.
You know, just a bunch of random.
Yeah.
You know, I'm watching How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Dude, I think I've watched How I Met Your Mother. I've watched Parks and Rec. I've tried watching The Office. It's like one of those shows I just can't get into, no matter how many times someone tells me.
I finished The Office like a month ago.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I've watched Frasier.
Never watched that.
Frasier's like some type of sitcom.
Yeah, no, I know about it because when I was younger, it used to play, I think, before The Simpsons at like 5 o'clock. And dude, it looked like the most boring show I could ever watch.
It's like
I was a kid, so I
you
just
have
saw
to-
some guy in a suit sitting on a chair or something, and I'm like, what is this? Hurry up!
it's
and
like I
finish.
think people who like watch it think they're smart because like they get the jokes and whatever. It's a funny show. I watched Seinfeld.
Yeah,
I watched there's a show called Three's Company or something like that. I've watched that. But I think I watched it. I watched it when I was a kid, so I don't remember. You remember the show Alf?
Yeah, never watched it.
Never watched
watched
it's an amazing show.
Never watched it.
So how'd you like How I Met Your Mother?
I'm enjoying it. You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of interesting because it's like all I'm thinking about right now is how they're gonna drag on for 8 seasons, like different stories of How I Met Your Mother.
They do a pretty good job at doing that. Like
Yeah.
I think like the mark of a good show is how much like small things like stay in your mind. So like for Seinfeld, like there's Festivus.
Yes.
Everyone remembers. There's the junior mint that fell in the guy's whatever when he was doing surgery.
Yeah.
For Friends, there's things like what is it
Turkey.
for Friends? The turkey,
Turkey.
the holiday armadillo.
Yes. For me, one thing I remember so specifically is like when they switched apartments, like that game they
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
I don't know why. Like I remember that from like years ago, not from
Mm.
when I just watched it, from before. Yeah. I don't know. It's
So like How I Met Your Mother has like a lot of those things. Like they have the doppelganger thing.
okay.
They have something with a pumpkin.
Yeah. Oh no.
The Halloween pumpkin or something.
Was it like the episode where he's looking for the girl?
Yeah,
who
yeah,
was dressed in
yeah.
a pumpkin. Yeah.
Is that like there's things like the bars like in Friends like it's a coffee shop. In
That's true.
thing it's a bar. In Seinfeld it's a coffee shop too. They all have like what would you say? Like they're like,
It's like a chill spot.
yeah,
It's
but
like,
they all have like recognizable things, landmarks that people remember them. Like remember those shows by.
It just kind of repeats through those same sets every time.
Yeah.
But like they do a good job. Like all those shows do a pretty good job.
But what I noticed about
keeping it
How I Met
interesting.
Your Mother is like they have like better explanations because like they all live in New York and they all have like they all look like they're moderately wealthy.
Yeah, I mean
like-
the main guy's an architect.
Yeah.
And stuff.
In Friends, it's like one of them was an architect. Like the biggest thing was like Ross was like
A professor.
was like tenured
Eventually-
professor.
Eventually became a professor.
Everyone else was like a cook or like a massage therapist and whatever else.
Yeah.
But How I Met Your Mother, Mosby's an architect. Barney's not Barney. The other guy is a lawyer, or he's studying to be a lawyer
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
in law school.
What's her name? The girl.
Robin is a newscaster.
Robin is a newscaster, and then
Lily, I'm not sure actually.
Lily, I think she's a teacher.
Yes, yes.
And
yeah.
there's
know
like a
what
running
Barney
joke
is.
about Barney. Like it's like there's a show after, there's an episode after, and like they tell you like, oh,
Okay.
like what does he actually do? But he wears a suit to work, so like it must be something.
That's true. There's one thing about Friends though that I found really interesting. It was Joey, because in the
Mhm.
beginning of the series, Joey's like really like poor, and like he kind of just bums off of Chandler and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything. And then there's that whole episode where he like becomes
Becomes
actually
rich,
famous and
yeah.
he becomes rich and stuff off of that show.
Buys an apartment with that dog.
Exactly, yeah. And then he gets like it eventually moves away from that, and then towards the end, like he becomes rich again, but then they just stop talking about his money completely. That's something I don't know if you've noticed that, but like towards the end of the series, they just stop making like Joey poor jokes because he's no longer poor. He does end up making some money, but like they just stop talking about Joey's money completely.
I mean, by the end of it, like I think everyone besides Phoebe has like a full career.
That's true, yeah. I mean, Phoebe has her like at least she has an apartment though. I think it's
Yeah.
like her dead grandma's now. I can't remember.
I mean, she does a whole music thing, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. One thing though about like shows like that like really bother me is like towards the end, like it happened with that and it happened with like Fresh Prince and stuff. It's like I want to see what happens after. Do you know what I mean? Like they put them all in a position where it's like you want it to keep going, but it can't, right? So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, technically, there's a spin-off of Friends called Joey.
Yeah, I've seen I've
Have
heard
you
of
seen
it.
the episode?
I haven't seen it. I've just heard about it.
Yeah, that obviously didn't do well, but like I've always like, for me, like the last episode's always the saddest because it's like yeah, they're like friends and whatever, but like you like they're explicit about them like separating from each other.
That's true.
Like Fresh Prince, I don't remember the ending except like when like the
They-
quintessential when they there's an empty house or whatever.
Yeah, like there's a split too. Again, everybody kind of goes on their own.
Yeah,
path.
but like episodes like that, it's like damn, you know what I mean? Like you just expect like they're just gonna all be together forever, you know?
Yeah, you get so used to it, and like, I don't know, like I don't want to get cheesy or something, but like you kind of like get a part of it without
Yeah.
being a part of it.
It's like I don't know what it's like.
It's a good show though. All those shows are pretty good. When I was younger, like, dude, I don't know if you remember YouTube, like years ago.
Yeah.
Bro, YouTube
Part
years ago.
1, Part 2, and Part 3.
Yes, YouTube years ago was the best thing ever because I literally watched all of Family Matters on there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Right. Like I remember I watched
Family
Family Matters
Matters.
first on TV and I'm like, this is a cool show.
Mm.
Let me try finding it online. So I
Mm.
went on YouTube and it's like every episode was there, but it was all like Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. But yeah, I watched all of that on there. It was like,
Part 4 is like 3 minutes.
yeah. Yo, the worst thing about YouTube back then though was like you search up a movie.
Starting to rain.
It is starting to rain. It's starting to rain. Oh boy, we're gonna kind of like pull through
Yeah. All right.
until the laptop breaks.
It's your sister's laptop.
That's true. That's true. I think this is like the universe telling us to just end this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. It's good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
You know, we
Sponsor
hope you
us.
enjoyed it.
We'll be here. We'll come back for another episode a couple weeks when I finish my final exam.
Exactly. Look out
Finish
for
my
another
bachelor's.
episode.
Exactly. Yeah. So what do we tell them? Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't even think
Yeah,
it's gonna
you know,
be on
like,
YouTube, but
Once it's up, review it. Give us 5 stars. Write
Yeah.
some comments. What you want to hear. What you want to
and
not
share
hear.
it with people.
Exactly.
We're trying to get sponsors. You know what I mean? We're trying to get big money out of this.
Exactly. You know,
what
we
I
just
mean?
graduated university.
Yes,
Trying
exactly.
to make some bank.
Exactly. Coca-Cola. Like, bro, I'm already holding this. You know
Bro,
what I
that's-
mean?
oh,
You don't
yeah.
even have to send this to me. You know?
That's it.
I already have it right here.
Apple.
Just send the money.
Apple. Light up
The yo-yo! Wait, I forgot about this. The yo-yo.
The yo-yo. Come on, light
Dollar
up the yo-yo.
Dollar store, sponsor us.
Exactly. You know what it is. It's good. Peace out. And see you next time.
Next episode, guys. I'm gonna take the yo-yo.